45, Nicole Mendez. 41, Jordan Roberts. Number 44, Carrie Everly. The starting lineup for Team Warren, leading off and playing left field, 24, Jasmine Jackson. Hitting second, the captain, the third baseman, number 30, Jesse Warren. Hitting third, playing first base, number 29, Tori Fidelis. The cleanup hitter, the Team Warren catcher, number 12, Taylor Edwards. And fifth, playing second base, number 9, Andrea Filler. The number 6 hitter and the shortstop, number 20, Katie Clifton. Batting seventh, the DP today, 68, Courtney Gano. Hitting eighth, the center fielder, number 6, Shannon Rose. And batting ninth in right field, number 8, Alicia Ocasio. In the circle pitching today for Team Warren, number 80, Megan Paramo. The facilitator for Team Warren is Danielle O'Toole. And now, please turn your attention to the video board.
This is what we've always dreamed of. A place to compete, where we're seen and heard. A platform to be unapologetically ourselves and celebrated for it. We are the future. The space to be loud. We are resilient, ruthless, and radiant. Athletes Unlimited defies all expectations, and only we know the determination it takes to get here. This is where champions are forged. No more asking, explaining, or justifying what we do. Get ready, because this is our moment.
We've got a special first pitch today coming out to the circle. He is the president and CEO of Little League, Steve Keener. And Steve, as a surprise it appears, here's Aubrey with the Marlins Club. She is ready in her gray t-shirt. How about a Rosemont roar? Aubrey is getting ready for the first pitch. Sachel Palacios is waiting. Aubrey fires, and it's a first pitch strike.
Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN, presented by Mizuno. The third and final series here at Parkway Bank Sports Complex in Rosemont, Illinois. The first of our doubleheader today, it's Team Garcia taking on Team Warren. Rachel Garcia, for the second time this season, is the captain. She leads her team, and she is in the top spot, the driver's seat, for being the second ever AUX Softball champion. She's been doing it in the circle and at the plate. She'll call her own name today. On the other side, it's Jessie Warren. She knows what it takes as well. She finished second in the inaugural season to Kat Osterman. Can Jessie make a push after missing the 2021 summer? A lot to unpack over the next few days. This is how we got here, though. 42 of the best. Just 2 weeks split up into these three series. We had our third and final draft just days ago, and that innovative scoring system is how we get the leaderboard that makes all the difference. The two-time All-American Amanda Scarborough, I'm Chucky Kemp. Two of softball's biggest names, Jessie Warren, Rachel Garcia. They could very well be the next AUX softball champion. Aubrey Leach will throw her hat in there as well, and we'll talk about her in game two. But what a leaderboard we've got. It is packed, but these two know what it takes.
Yeah, they do. The way that Jessie Warren has played defense over at third base has made top play after top play. And then swinging the bat, too, with those 3 home runs, hitting for big distances as well. And then Rachel Garcia, she has stepped up in the circle and at the plate. One of the best two-way players in the entire game.
She really does sit in the driver's seat. Can she pitch and hit her way to being that second ever champion? We will find out over the next few days. Well, she put her team together and did a really interesting job. Doubled up at shortstop, doubled up at center field. Delaney Wiz, another Bruin, joining her. She's been tremendous, especially in that second series, hit safely in all 4 games of Series 2. And then, like I said, McClenny and Hayward at the top. That's 2 of the best leadoff hitters in the league. On the other side, it is the rookie, another UCLA Bruin, Megan Faramo, who has been extra impressive, and her third baseman and captain, Jessie Warren, said, I wanted her because I did not want to face her at the plate.
And she's been so good with the way that she's gotten better each series, each inning that she's pitched. Really relied on this curveball. She's one of the hardest throwing pitchers in the league, hitting 68, 70 miles an hour. But this curveball, being able to locate it at different heights on the outside corner to right-handed hitters gives her a lot of swings and misses, strikeouts, and she brings that energy and intensity in the circle every time.
There are her numbers: 2-0, a 3.50 ERA, and 18 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts. One of the best arms this season in just her rookie season as a professional. Haley McClenny will be the first that she tries to conquer, who enters on a 6-game hit streak. McClenny is also a dangerous one. The first pick by Rachel Garcia in the draft this week, and then back that up with Peyton St. George, who along with Garcia have combined for the only 2 complete games of the season as McClenny swinging first pitch and fouls it straight back. A lot of excitement at practices on the field today already. This is it. Just a few days from now, we will have a champion. A lot of these players who are playing for national teams will head off for the WBSC World Cup qualifiers. They will be back here in about a month's time from right now for the Athletes Unlimited Championship season that lasts 5 weeks, starting in late July, running through the end of August.
Yeah, this is when things are really starting to heat up for these athletes. A lot of them considering the shortened AUX season almost like a spring training with a little bit of extra meaning behind it, because there is that leaderboard. There will be a champion at the end of it. But just getting reps and at bats.
Rachel Garcia at the top of the leaderboard leads Aubrey Leach in second by 114 points. The top 15 on the leaderboard are all within 320 of that top spot. And if you're wondering how quickly that can be made up, Rachel Garcia herself had almost a 300-point performance earlier this season, just about a week and a half ago now, I guess. That's how quick it's gone. I think earlier this season, I mean last week.
It has blown by. It's such an intense, just jam-packed 2 weeks for these athletes.
2-2, McClenny just battling, doing what she does, setting the tone. A word for Victoria Hayward there in that second spot. There's a lot to unpack with these teams this week, too, and how they've been organized. A lot of great storylines on all sides, really, as McClenny grounds this one to Clifton, and she gets Haley McClenny for out number 1. We'll talk to Savannah Collins coming up shortly about the Series 3 draft. Always has some great insight for us.
And it makes things so interesting because these teams have gotten mixed up each series. There's been different captains, some repeat captains as well, but these athletes that are on the field right now with each other in the dugout and on the field playing with each other as a complete team for the first time.
Really fooled Hayward on that pitch. Victoria Hayward has been a captain herself back in the beginning. She was the first ever to sign with Athletes Unlimited, not just in softball, but period. That's why the number 1 belongs to her. Just picked up a new gig, assistant coach to Heather Tarr at Washington, along with Courtney Gano, who is here as well. Sis Bates just recently announced that she will be joining them, the Director of Player Development. That was announced Thursday. We had a play earlier this year that involved all of the Huskies that will now be on staff there, a double play.
They're always a really tight-knit group over at UW and that Huskies program led by Heather Tarr, as you mentioned.
Hayward into left field, base hit.
So one thing that you have to know about Athletes Unlimited and these players, they're such good hitters. If you leave the ball over the heart of the plate, more over the middle of the plate, they're gonna make you pay for those mistakes. That pitch was a little bit up, more on the plate. Victoria Hayward and a hitter's count looking to get a pitch to hit. She got it.
We have seen some more success for the pitchers, oddly enough, as the season has worn on. I think we thought it would be in reverse. The pitchers would start hot, the bats would warm up, but it's in some ways been the other way. But what we've seen, it seems like, is these pitchers having to kind of go away from what they do best at times to fool the hitters.
They're learning a lot, and when you talk to the pitchers, they're constantly thinking about what they feel, what they're thinking, the strategy of the hitter, the adjustments that they have to make, and being able to adapt as the season has gone on. Even though it's only been like 10 days, they've learned a lot. And one thing I think that you notice too in comparison to the college game is just not quite that intensity to get that first pitch strike, to find the strike zone early, because these hitters have been so aggressive, Chucky. When you look to Series 1, there were 8 first pitch home runs. In Series 2, only 1 first pitch home run. So you see that the pitchers have been adjusting with their strategy and attacking the plate.
It's another reason why catchers, if you look at the drafts, some of these catchers are hot commodities. Pitchers getting comfortable with certain catchers, and they want them on their teams because there is no coach here to help game plan. Upstairs to Anissa Urtez.
And we could talk about the pitchers and their stuff, the way that they change speeds, their movement and velocity, but you always hear about the catchers and the way that they call pitches and how smart they are. These pitchers absolutely love throwing to these catchers in this league.
It's fouled away. These top 3 hitters, and it will go beyond that with Sam Fisher in the 4-hole and Delaney Wiz, but you look at McClenny, Hayward, Anissa Urtez, 3 extremely tough outs. Another 2-2. Runner goes, and Hayward is into second with a stolen base, and now she's going to take third. Great base running by Victoria Hayward. 10 points for her on the stolen base.
Yeah, Megan Framo is able to fool Urtez with this backdoor curveball that breaks back over the inside corner. And look at Hayward. As soon as she sees this ball down, she knows her speed can get her to third base. We've seen her be so aggressive on the base pass, and the players who have speed are so aggressive at taking an extra 60 feet.
Victoria Hayward, the all-time Athletes Unlimited leader in stolen bases. Sam Fisher with 2 outs has a chance to start the scoring here in the first.
And you don't see those stolen bases all too often. We talked about the catchers back behind the plate being phenomenal pitch callers, but they're also so good at throwing out base stealers that you don't see too many even attempts at stealing against them.
And the risk of losing 10 points if you're caught stealing looms, of course.
Good point.
Sam Fisher, a product of Loyola Marymount, where she was an absolute superstar. 0-2.
Not an easy pitch to take at all. When we showed you Megan Faramo's strikeouts before she threw the first pitch of this game, they're all on that curveball to a right-handed hitter. So for Sam Fisher to take a pitch that close is just trusting her eyes that that pitch is going to continue to move off the plate. Not easy.
1-2, challenging her again, fouls it back. Sam Fisher talked about all the interesting draft picks from Rachel Garcia, the 2 shortstops, the 2 center fielders, also keeping Sam Fisher and Sis Bates together, who have been quite the duo on the left side of the infield, not just production-wise, but entertainment-wise, which is always nice.
Always having a good time on the left side of the field. I texted Sam and I was like, just making sure before the game, I'm like, have you been with Sis Bates every single series? She's like, yep, yes ma'am, I have.
They might be a package deal in the draft now.
I know.
1-2, off the handle and caught by Vidalis. Megan Faramo puts up a 0 to start things off here in the top of the first. Series 3 is underway in Rosemont.
Players and fans, that's right, fans, vote for MVP.
1 hit for Team Garcia in the top of the first. No runs across, though. 10 inning win points on the line here. Team Warren coming to the plate for the first time. Top of the order with some speed in Jasmine Jackson to set things up for Jessie Warren. But how about Taylor Edwards? 3 home runs, saw 2 of those on the first day of the season. 2 2-run shots. She definitely has the power to make a difference. But Warren, Vidalis, Edwards, that is a dangerous 2-3-4. The chance to make a big impact with 1 swing. There's Rachel Garcia. How about at least 5 innings in each of her last 3 outings? That is very tough to do against these hitters, and she gets the start today.
Yeah, it is. She's called her name a lot. Others have called her name too to get the start or come into relief. We've seen her used in a lot of different ways, and the way that she's been able to last series and series 2 use her off-speed pitch, her drop ball, and also be able to move the ball up in the zone with her rise ball is what has given her a different look in series 2, being able to change speeds a little bit more and complement that ever overpowering curveball that she has and her ability to go up in the zone with her rise ball. Just a 3.59 ERA this season, which is really good with the way that the hitters have been hitting this AUX season.
has battled. She's breezed through innings, 7 1-2-3 innings, is second best in the league to Georgina Korick. She's also worked her way out of some jams. First batter, Jasmine Jackson, to lead things off against Garcia. She misses outside with pitch number 1. Jazz out of San Jose, California, played her ball at Cal. Played all over the place there. Left field, center field, second base, shortstop. Hitting .261 on the season. Seems like everybody kind of has their moments. Jasmine Jackson in Series 1 had some big moments, starting some rallies for her teams. Goes left side, Ortez cannot handle it.
Yeah, she's just had really good barrel control coming from the left-hand side in the left-handed batter's box. She has a lot of different tools, but when somebody of her speed has the barrel control to get the top of the ball, especially against more of an upspin pitcher like Rachel Garcia, she's going to create havoc on the left side of the infield and be able to use her wheels and put pressure on a defense.
Now Jessie Warren with a runner on, plenty of speed. She has been exceptional. 385 average. Veteran now out of Florida State. Her first action since 2021, missed last summer, but excited to be back. Huge swing right there to foul it out of play. Didn't have much of a plan going into the draft. Said you have players you want, but from her experience in year 1 as a captain, this is her 5th time as a captain, she said things kind of go out the window quick because you want people and usually everybody else wants them too.
Yeah, I'd imagine there's just a lot of pressure and stress and anxiety being one of the captains. As good as it is, because it means that you're at the top of the leaderboard, there comes that added pressure.
Swing and a miss. Great pitch from Garcia, and the throw down not in time, but it's 2-2.
And it's that backwards off-speed pitch or a backwards count going to an off-speed pitch, 2-1 count. You know that these hitters are looking for a pitch to hit. That pitch just falls off the table. Well located and good movement by Garcia.
2-2, foul back.
You can definitely hear when it's like the bigger international planes taking off. They make a little bit more of a roar. You know that they're going somewhere probably fun.
Yeah, that's headed for a good destination right there. Yeah, that's right. Warren taking some hacks. That one way out of the zone, but somehow gets a piece of it.
This good bad ball hitter Jessie Warren is, and a lot of these hitters are. Hear the pitchers talk about that a lot, that even when they throw a pitch at their eyes or in the other batter's box, there's still hitters that can barrel it up.
Great battle won by Garcia.
That's the same pitch that she went to in a 2-1 count and got her swinging. Not very often that you're going to get Jessie Warren to swing and miss 2 times in an at-bat, but it's this drop ball that Garcia told us just yesterday, a pitch that she went to more in Series 2 that's going to get her to strike out the other captain, Jessie Warren.
Sachel Palacios behind the plate. Rachel, 2 years ago when she was at San Diego State, threw to Sachel a little bit because she's from San Diego, threw to her this year as well, but they have a little bit of a relationship because Sachel is from that area. Up top, runner goes. Good throw, but not quite in time to get Jasmine Jackson. 10 points for her on the stolen base.
Okay, let's use these wheels today and the steals that we've already seen, and not even through the first inning. Get herself into scoring position. So fast to get down the line to first base, and now taking second easily.
And this is that final series. That's the first stolen base for Jasmine Jackson. First attempt as well. This is the final series. Leaving nothing out there because they want it right now. They know their last chance to climb up the leaderboard. Jasmine Jackson trying to help her captain out. Dallas back over the press box.
And you think about how good of a call that is, too, with the middle of the order coming up for Team Warren. You have speed now at second base, and Tori Vidalis and Taylor Edwards have been RBI producers this season. Tori Vidalis at the plate now has had a hit in every single game. Now she gets to hit with the runner in scoring position.
Vidalis sitting in 17th on the leaderboard right now, and she's won 2. We talked about the top 15 being within 320, and there are more just outside that aren't far away either. Taylor Edwards there on deck. She's in the 12th spot. Tori just battling right now.
You'll see that when Rachel Garcia pitches, what makes her so good is that she lives on the edges. Her ability to throw that drop ball that's a little bit off speed to these right-handed hitters and throw that low and away on the edge, and then go to her backdoor curveball, which is a pitch that will be at 68, 69 miles an hour on the inside corner, right on the hands. It's so hard for these right-handed hitters to get their barrels to that pitch.
She didn't like that ball. That one's going to the BP bucket, I think. 2-2, hit hard. Fisher has it, and Jackson saw it quickly.
Next up, the catcher, number 12, Taylor Edwards.
Pretty consistently long at bats.
A good swing by Tori, a pitch that was more out over the plate, and she gets jammed a little bit because of how hard Rachel Garcia throws. So not as hard of a line drive hit as we've seen. So right in Sam Fisher's glove for the out.
Taylor Edwards, chance to help herself out on the leaderboard. Just 36 points out of the top 10. Not even. That's for number 9. She's just 12 points away from the 10th spot. Her best finish was last year at AUX. Finished 14th with her sister Tatum acting as a facilitator. Garcia misses up top, 2-1.
Giving her a lot of different looks, knowing that Taylor Edwards has caught her in the past and has seen a lot of the pitches out of her hand from a different perspective back behind the plate. That drop ball that she's throwing is a really good pitch and a tough one to take there if you're Taylor Edwards, but she does. Same pitch that Jessie Warren struck out on.
Now has to be careful, 3-1. This is outside. Edwards walks, 8 points for her on the leaderboard.
You could tell how careful she wanted to be with Taylor Edwards on that at bat.
Likes when Taylor's behind the plate for her, not so much at the plate against her. 2 runners on. Andrea Filler, a captain last week for the first time. 10 inning win points on the line. Filler hitting .310 on the season, one of a number of players in that second spot on the leaderboard as far as home runs go. She's got 3. Good spot there from Rachel Garcia. Jackson at second with all the speed. Taylor Edwards just walked. Garcia trying to match her former UCLA teammate Megan Faremo with a 0 here in the first.
I love that you get to pitch against your former teammate. Little Bruin pitching matchup in this game today.
Delaney Wiz in this game. She's over at first base right now.
And if anything, too, if you're on Team Warren, of course, you want to score that runner from second base and get the 10 inning points that you're going to win if you score her. But, I mean, it's just a win in itself to have Rachel Garcia throw 26 pitches already in this inning. A lot of fouled off pitches, a lot of deep at bats, a lot of looks that they're getting off of Garcia.
This is, we were gone for Series 2, but when we left for Series 1, it's a little bit different weather-wise.
I was just thinking the same thing, like right before that last foul ball, of how pleasant it is today. It's sunny, there's wind, but it's not like it was, feeling like it was a hurricane with hurricane winds.
88 degrees, a little breezy, and just beautiful clear skies for the most part. They find the recipe. Andrea Filler not going down easily. Inside, too far inside.
Just missed a little bit. You see Garcia talking to Palacios, where the miss just a little bit off the plate, but I mean, just ever so slightly.
28th pitch, but the first full count we've seen. That's fouled away. Both teams early on fouling off a lot of pitches, making these pitchers work. Saw that from McClenny right out of the gates for Team Garcia. Filler stays on it. For Team Garcia, this has to be, I mean, we're talking the history of Athletes Unlimited Softball Championship or AUX. Defensively, this has to be one of the better lineups that we have seen. Victoria Hayward in left, Haley McClenny in center, Megan Wiggins in right field. I mean, those are three players who are pretty comfortable in center field, have tons of range. Filler hits it hard. Is this going to get foul? It will.
Ooh.
You got Sis Bates at second base. You're feeling pretty good defensively with Anissa Ortez at short.
Yeah, but if Filler keeps swinging it like this, it's hard to defend a ball if this stays fair. Wow, that was really close, so hard to tell. She just crushed that ball, though, and made a big statement with that swing, with how she's getting on time with Garcia.
Andrea Filler, 5th on the leaderboard right now. Full count. Inside, what a battle from her, and 8 points for Andrea Filler.
Great at bat. I mean, what an at bat by Filler. 31 pitches now for Rachel Garcia in this inning.
The bases loaded for Kaylee Clifton. Jasmine Jackson had been on second base for a long, long time.
Yeah, she was getting comfortable there at second base. Now she gets to move up.
Clifton, strike one, top of the zone. 4th season, 4th year, I should say. 5th season she's played in all 3 championship seasons and last year's AUX as well. Off the handle, in comes McClenny, back goes Bates, she will make the play. There's some of that defense right there, Sis Bates showing off the range from second base. Zeros, those points will roll over to the second inning. 0-0, top of the second we go. Both pitchers having to work for those zeros too, but the points roll over. So 20 on the line here in the second. Well, here we go. Series 3 draft recap, and the #1 overall pick for the 3rd straight draft was a pitcher again. 4 of the first 6 were pitchers. You're sensing a trend here. The pitchers are extra important. 7 players wearing the same jersey color for the 3rd straight series. Didn't get to use the others. And we welcome in Savannah Collins, who is really the expert on all things Athletes Unlimited. What stood out to you this week, Savannah?
You know what, Chucky? There was a lot of defense played in this week's draft. And what I mean by that is those captains were really trying to anticipate what the person beside them needed. That really started in round 5. Jesse Warren taking Taylor Edwards, who's been Garcia's go-to pitcher all series. And then Aubrey Leach said, hey, I'm getting in on this action, and took Deja Nolipola, who she anticipated Rachel Garcia to want next. And Garcia, who usually stays pretty calm, cool, collected during the draft, she was like, okay, guys, we're going to have to fight this one out. She was fed up, and she kind of had some payback with Leach going out and getting Sis Bates and Sam Fisher, who she was left last week. So that's kind of what we saw, is these captains are really starting to figure out what it takes to be able to throw the one next to them off.
I think one of the biggest things that stood out to me, Savannah, was Rachel Garcia, 2 center fielders, 2 shortstops. We saw last summer Haley McClenny and Victoria Hayward play together, but I don't think we've seen Sis Bates at second base. How will she use them this week?
Definitely. I asked Rachel about that. Was that intentional, kind of double drafting those couple of positions? And see, she said yes. So when it came down to Sis and Anissa, she said she practiced them both at second base and shortstop yesterday at practice. But Halo was a definite, being in center field, moving Vic over to left. But that was intentional. She knew, one, both of these players can play both positions and give me some flexibility, but they were no-brainers for her. She wasn't willing to give them up. She wanted them on her team, even if it meant a little bit of shifting.
The right field and caught out there by Alicia Ocasio for out #1.
Savannah, just from an overall observation when you're watching, do you feel like the captains get nervous, have anxiety, stress? What's it like to kind of look from the outside in when you're watching these captains draft?
You know what I think that's maybe not talked about too much about the captain experience is how much they care about the people that they are drafting. And I think that weighs heavily on some of these captains that Andrea Filler talked about it last week, that it's not personal, that is strategy. But I know that that weighs heavily on some of them, that, you know, they want everybody on their team to feel valued, whether they were the #1 pick or the very last. So I think that is something that these captains feel, and that they kind of try to bring these teams together through chemistry and those conversations before practice so that everybody feels valued on their teams.
Savannah, we love the insight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Rachel Garcia, we asked her what it was like the night before the draft preparing. She said she was up till 4 a.m. trying to figure things out.
That's how I would be too. I'd be that person that's constantly thinking of every situation, every scenario. If this person gets taken before I get them, then who's my next pick? But you could just think so much about it because there's so many possibilities. You have no real idea exactly what's going to happen. And I think that's what makes the draft so fun, because not only do the captains, you can't really script it out, but the players on the other side who are looking to get drafted don't quite know exactly where they're going to go either.
So many different strategies. So Rachel Garcia, the first week didn't have as big of an emphasis, it seemed like, on another pitcher. This time around, as a second-time captain, she had back-to-back picks, the end of the first round, beginning of the second, when Haley McClenny and Peyton St. George. So she gets one of the best arms in the league to help her out to carry the load. On the other side, Aubrey Leach last week took 3 pitchers in a row with her first 3 rounds picks. And this week took Corrick to start, as that's caught a little bit interestingly by Jackson, but didn't take another pitcher till round 7.
I feel like this ball just continued to travel. This was an off-speed pitch that Rachel Garcia recognized out of the hand and was still able to hit hard. And it looked like it just kind of knuckleballed out there, and Jackson trying to decide which way to turn, which side she should go to, but still comes away with the all-important second out. Takes that deep breath knowing that she caught it.
2 quick outs here for Megan Faremo, and now Megan Wiggins. First pitch swinging left center field. Jackson overroads there too, and Jazz Jackson makes the catch 1-2-3 for Megan Faramo, the rookie out of UCLA. 20 points on the line for her team, Team Warren, when we come back. 0-0, Team Warren coming to the plate with 20 points on the line if they can plate a run off of Rachel Garcia. How about it? Game 1 of the best of 3 College World Series final tonight, 7 Eastern, 6 Central on ESPN and the app. It's an all-SEC matchup between 5th-seeded LSU and 2nd-seeded Florida. This is the 5th time SEC schools have met for the title. The last 2017, Gators beat the Tigers in 2 games, so revenge may be on the mind.
Should be a good one. LSU, the way that they were playing with that walk-off, what, in the 11th inning?
Yes, it was, the pitching duel. It's going to be a blast, and we get to, hey, we get the day games today, tomorrow. We get to watch some College World Series tonight.
Love that for us.
Rachel Garcia back in the circle after a lengthy but clean first inning. And look who it is, Courtney Gano, suiting up as a pro for the final time this week. She will retire at the conclusion of AUX West Covina, California, and she will head back to her alma mater. She was this past season as well, but this year as an assistant coach, along with Victoria Hayward. I think a lot of emotion, a lot of things going through her mind. Told us that she's just trying to enjoy it all, just to take it slow. We've seen some really special moments at the end of careers and the end of seasons. Gano involved in one last year at the end of AUX with the Grand Slam walk-off to end the season. Amanda Chittister last year in the championship season in her final at-bat of her career, hitting a home run.
It's pretty cool to see little Gregory here running around the ballpark too. Greggy.
He's been with her all 3 years that she's played Athletes Unlimited. Pops this one up. Caught over there by Delaney Wiz for out number 1. For every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited AUX season, Aspiration committed to planting 10 trees. Stay tuned throughout the season to see how many trees will be planted thanks to Aspiration's support. I'm telling you, I think we just need to put some around the outside of the wall just to protect the road a little bit from some of these home runs that we've seen hit.
Oh my goodness, we've seen what, 3 or 4 300-foot home runs. The hitters have just been hitting tanks.
The pitchers have been happy to see some wind help a little bit recently toward the end of Series 1 and into Series 2. Not much today, but the elements have had their say on this season. Shannon Rhodes watches that one up high, 1-1. She's in center field this week, or at least here in game one for Team Warren, who will play their doubleheader today. Shannon usually in right field. Of the University of Texas Rookie of the Year in the championship season last year. Just a 150 average so far this season. Has struggled a little bit after she had 375 champ season last summer. 2-1, big cut right there, fouls it back.
Overall, though, the hitters have just been hitting the ball so well. The league average coming into this game was 311. And when you look to last year's AUX season, the league batting average overall was 288. So about an increase of 20, 25 points there. We'll see how Series 3 plays out and if that lowers a little bit, if the pitchers step up or if the hitters keep hitting.
There's some big arms that will join the ranks for the championship season. One of the most notable being Catherine Sandercock out of Florida State, who recently signed with Athletes Unlimited. So that'll be exciting to see her here.
Be a great addition. Can't wait to see her out here playing.
And Alyssa Denham will return as well, and she almost won it all last year.
And I think that's what we're missing. A couple more drop ball pitchers. You know, we have a lot of rise ball pitchers this AUX season, and I think that you can tell with the home runs reflected and these pitchers living more up in the zone. But with Sandercock and also Alyssa Denham, good drop balls that'll work the lower part of the zone coming up in the championship season.
Other returners, Sierra and Sydney Romero will be back. Hannah Flippen, Erica Piancastelli, Gwen Svekis, who's actually been around, I believe, already here in Rosemont. Checking out some of AUX. She played in Japan recently.
Some big names
There
coming.
really are. Rhodes lofts this into right field. Megan Wiggins has it for out number 2. And barring a huge comeback from either Deja Bulipola or Alicia Ocasio, we will have yet another champion, a different name. No one has repeated yet. So maybe 3 champions at the championship season, depending on who comes out on top.
How about the variety of the captains that we have? We have
Yeah.
Rachel Garcia, who's a pitcher hitter. Then you have Jessie Warren, who is just a fabulous third baseman and amazing hitter as well, and she's right-handed. And then you have Aubrey Leach, who plays more middle infield, and she's more of a left-handed power hitter at times that we've seen, but also has that speed and has a lot of different tools. So these 3 captains entering Series 3, just quite a little variety that we have. I love that.
I think you're seeing maybe more than ever that anybody can end up at the top of the leaderboard. We saw Nadia Taylor, who really has been just a DP for the most part this season. Saw Andrea Filler, a first-time captain last week. Says hit towards Sis Bates at second, waves everybody off. That's out number 3. And Rachel Garcia, that is now 8 1-2-3 innings on the season, tied for first in the league. 0-0, 30 inning win points on the line. Top of the third coming up between Team Garcia and Team Warren. The Little League is here at Athletes Unlimited today, a special day, and plenty of former Little Leaguers on this field, one being Rachel Garcia. There she is, playing some Little League ball when she was growing up in California. And there are a number of others. There is a tremendous partnership between Little League and Athletes Unlimited. We are joined by a very special man, the Little League president and CEO, Steve Keener. Steve, thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk about that partnership first. What is it that means so much with Athletes Unlimited and Little League being partnered together?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to spend a few minutes with you both. What's really special about it is that Little League International, we, for the last number of years, have been putting an increased focus on opportunities for females throughout our program, whether it be participating by playing or coaching, umpiring, just to engage more female participation throughout our program. And so we looked for organizations and others that we could partner with to try to advance that initiative, and AU was the perfect partner to do it. Just the fact that these are the best young professional softball players in the world, to have an association with them to help inspire and motivate the hundreds of thousands of little girls that play Little League softball. We just thought it was a natural fit, so we're delighted to be partners and working together.
Yeah, and Steve, everyone knows that Little League began with baseball, but I've seen it firsthand the past several years of being around you and regionals and the World Series, how much just the overall presence of softball has grown with Little League. Talk a little bit about that growth and the goals that Little League has for softball in the future.
Yeah, well, some of the people on our marketing and communications staff, who are a lot smarter than me, came up with a kind of a month-long celebration, which has really kind of turned into a year-long acknowledgement. Now we call it our Girls with Game initiative, and so we've made a concentrated effort to put more focus on our softball program and really try to, I don't want to say bring it up to equality with the Little League baseball program, because the Little League baseball program has been around since 1939. It's established. It's become kind of an iconic institution, and we're hoping to do the same thing with Little League softball. And I think we're making some progress, but with that particularly through the AU relationship. And so the Girls with Game initiative is, we really focus on it for a month and really try to focus through social media and other media outlets, just the incredible opportunities that are available for young ladies to play softball, and also to really emphasize that Little League softball players get all the same benefits of the experience of playing in their local communities that the Little League baseball kids do.
Yeah, well, and big news too, Steve, of course, that the championship game is going to be on ABC, and several of the games, I think about 10 on ESPN or ESPN2. I mean, the World Series in North Carolina in August is going to be incredible. And Steve, not to mention that we've been talking about this a lot over the course of the season, but we have the pro games at the Little League Softball World Series. And from your perspective, what are some of the wins in coordinating an event like that where these players are going to be playing in North Carolina?
Well, let me go backwards for one quick second. We've done a similar game with Major League Baseball called the MLB Little League Classic game in Williamsport at the Little League Baseball World Series. This will be, I think, our 6th or 7th year of that initiative. And what we have seen with that is that when the Major League Baseball teams walk into our stadium in Williamsport and we see the reaction and the looks and the feelings that are generated among the kids who are playing in the World Series just from that initial contact with them, we said we've got to find a way to do that same thing for our Little League softball program. And again, that's where the partnership with AU comes in. Last year we had Sis Bates and Aaliyah. I'm sorry, I don't remember Aaliyah's last name, but they came down to the World Series last year, and the girls playing in our World Series were just so enamored with just the two of them. And they spent so much time with them, and it was just very heartwarming to watch the interaction between just two of the AU players and all of the girls playing in the Little League World Series. We thought, what would it be like if all 60 of them walked into the stadium and did the same thing? And so that's what we're going to be able to do this year, thanks to Jonathan Soros and John Patrikoff with AU agreeing to put this together. They're great partners, and we're just really excited that 4 AU teams are going to be able to come down and play a doubleheader at ECU while we're there, and that all the girls from the Little League World Series will essentially be their guests at those games that night. And then the AU players are going to come over to Greenville to our Little League World Series and kind of spend a day interacting with all the girls playing there. So I think it's going to be a win-win for everybody. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, we are too, Steve. Thank you so much for the time. We're excited you're here with some Little League teams as well, so enjoy the day.
All right, guys, thanks for doing this.
Absolutely.
All right, bye-bye.
Steve Keener, the Little League president and CEO, and they're talking about that history that will be made, the Athletes Unlimited Pro Games. Those games coming your way August 9th, 4:30 and 7 Eastern on ESPN2 from Greenville, North Carolina. They're playing at East Carolina University, and you really don't want to miss that because it is going to be special. You've seen it. We've talked about it all summer. I think we're both really looking forward to the reaction to those players being there just as much as the game.
Those little girls are going to be going crazy watching them live in person. It's one thing to watch on TV, but it's a whole other ball game, no pun intended, to watch it just live and in person and get to see how hard these pitchers throw, how fast the runners are, how far the ball goes off their bat. They're just going to love every second of it.
And these players are so great, interacting, always signing autographs after the games, the lines. Does not matter how long they are, they all stay out and sign every autograph. Sis Bates on first base right now, and Aaliyah Andrews went last summer. Steve mentioned that. Now Haley McClenny, 1 out, 0-2 count, top of the third, and 30 points on the line. So a big splash already going to be made in this one, whether it happens in this inning or continues to roll over. It's Megan Faramo and Rachel Garcia, the two UCLA Bruins, going at it in the circle today in Rosemont. And McClenny called out on strike 3, and I don't believe she agreed with that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And it was a little bit off the plate, maybe by about a ball. But look at the frame job by Taylor Edwards. She catches that pitch inside of her shoulders. And that frame, the position that she catches it, helps Megan Faramo get that for a called strike. And a huge looking strikeout of Haley McClenny.
There are certain hitters like Haley McClenny who I tend to believe when they react because she knows the zone so well. And then you follow her up with Victoria Hayward, and she singled and stole a base, 20 points for her back in the first inning. 2 outs now, though, with Sis Bates on first.
I think you're going to start to see Megan Faramo change speeds a little bit more in this inning like she just did right there. Remember, Vic Hayward on a hitter's count, 2-1 count, had that hit off of Faramo on her first at-bat. So changing speeds a second at-bat. Again, back-to-back change-ups.
You sticking that in the back pocket as a pitcher when you go through the first time? I'm going to hide something. If I can, I'm going to keep something.
Yeah, you want to be able to stick around 2, maybe even 3 times through the lineup and go deep into this game. And one of the best ways to do that is to save some pitches for later, like saving a little bit of food for later. You know, like that's what you're trying to do with your pitches, is maybe show a different pitch second time through or third time through that the hitters haven't seen yet.
Now strike 3 on the outside corner. McClenny and Hayward back-to-back backward Ks. Team Warren back to the dish, 30 points on the line. back in Rosemont. Jesse Warren's team coming to the dish, 30 points onto the line. Let's go into the game with Air National Guard and Jesse Warren.
Smile at the camera. I'm excited to finally be able to play behind you. No. I'm so excited. We got water shot, 2 on 1. Gonna be bottle girls. Hey, you're right. No, she's not. Timing is so off right now. Rachel's just not throwing hard, so my timing is just off. She's got a dream, chase it, 'cause a dream won't chase you back. You're gonna love somebody.
You gonna sing for us?
You know I sing in the headset in between innings, but I will not do it live. And we caught Jesse Warren, and that was sounding pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. We need our folks in the truck to cut a clip of you singing as well, so we can show that to the world.
No, we can't do that.
I love the conversation with Faremo there, that she was so excited to play behind her. It said, like, I took Megan Faremo, one, she's been really good, but also did not want to face her at the plate anymore.
Yeah, and Jesse Warren last week was with Rachel Garcia and made several highlight reel type plays. Stole a lot of hits. I mean, we're just like at the edge of our seat hoping that when Jesse Warren is at third base, the ball gets hit to her. And now she gets to do it behind Megan Faremo this week, and she doesn't have to hit off of her.
Warren on deck behind Jasmine Jackson.
Thought it was interesting too. You probably caught Jesse Warren talking about Rachel Garcia and just the hitters communicating, Alicia Ocasio in that mix as well, about how they don't feel like Rachel Garcia is throwing as hard as she has been. It's been, you know, a long 10 days for her or so, and she's pitched a lot. She talked to us about that as well. You kind of go from 0 to 100 of not pitching in games, and then all of a sudden she's pitching in almost every game. It's been a lot for her and her body.
Long break between seasons, about 9 months between the end of the championship season and the beginning of AUX. For some of these athletes, there is no end in sight. Maybe September they'll get a chance to get some rest. Swing and a miss. Well, tomorrow morning on ESPN and ESPN Deportes, the London Series is back for the first time since 2019. It's Cubs-Cardinals, second game of a 2-game set at London Stadium. Starts at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. Our Sunday night matchup is the series finale between the Astros and Dodgers. That coverage begins at 6 Eastern with baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown. They are living it up in London right now. All kinds of events going on surrounding those games. And that one got Jesse Warren. So 8 points for her on the hit by pitch.
Just barely. That's actually the 8th hit by pitch that Rachel Garcia has had in a short, 33, 34 innings that she's pitched. It's because she likes to throw this backdoor curveball and work right-handed hitters up and in a lot with her rise ball and her backdoor. Sometimes just doesn't break enough back over the plate and has hit them quite a bit. Actually leads the league in hit by pitches.
Rachel Garcia's allowed 4 base runners, but has not given up a hit. Reached on an error, hit by pitch, and 2 walks so far.
And they talked about, remember Jesse was talking about the speed that Rachel Garcia throws, and she's known to throw with a higher velocity. She's actually thrown the hardest pitch of the season at 71.5.
Ooh. Really, those, I thought Series 1 when we saw her, she really did live around 69 to 71 pretty consistently.
So they're used to those, you know, more firm pitches out of her hand that just don't ever feel like they slow down when they get to the plate. Throws a very heavy ball whenever she's on.
Dallas is trying to straighten this out. That one a little bit closer.
And I think it's cool, too, because we talk about Rachel Garcia being a pitcher who rakes, a pitcher who hits. And not only has she thrown the fastest pitch, the exit velocity off of her bat has actually been the highest at 89.5 miles an hour, too. So you think about strength and power and explosiveness. She is just such a strong athlete.
Too far outside, 2-2. One out here, the strikeout of Jasmine Jackson. Has to dance through all this power of Warren, Vidalis, and Taylor Edwards for the second time. Be a part of the game by joining the Unlimited Club. You can vote on game MVPs, exclusive events that you can enjoy. You can contribute 10% to the player bonus pool and more for just $20 a year. Sign up now at auprosports.com/membership. Love the MVP voting. A chance to impact the leaderboard a little bit. 2-2, that one almost got Vidalis. Tori always seems to be a hot commodity on draft day. Ground ball left side, just foul.
Yeah, it's because of it's a foul ball, so that out at second base is not going to matter because Jim Cooper back behind the plate called that a foul ball, but a little extra oohs and ahs and playing it out just in case. But I think that why Tori Vidalis is such a hot commodity is just because of how consistent she is in all parts of the game. You love to be her teammate. She's fun to be around, but the way that she plays first base is so smooth, and then also the way that she hits, she's just so consistent.
There it is, works a walk. Great at bat there off Rachel Garcia. Speaking of consistency, Tori, top 20 finisher in all 4 seasons of Athletes Unlimited. 18th at AUX last year. She has 2 top 10 finishes. Her highest was 8th back in the inaugural season. As you see Odyssey Alexander out in the bullpen. Rookie Yanez standing behind her. Edwards did not get all of it. Hayward is over and makes the grab for out number 2. That's a big one.
We were talking about this defense behind Garcia earlier. In the outfield, it just is such a strong outfield with Hayward and McClinney and Wiggins. I mean, that's an outfield that every pitcher dreams of having back behind them.
McClinney in center, Hayward in left. Megan Wiggins, who in the later stages of her career has been primarily a left fielder. She's over in right field. There's Megan Wiggins, 13th season as a pro out of the University of Georgia. There's a strike from Rachel Garcia to Andrea Filler. Wiggins still getting it done too. 429 on base percentage this season. Filler, another one that didn't get all of it. Ortez going back, and I think there might have been a little bit of miscommunication. 2 runs going to come across. Filler into second. Warren and Vidalis score. That is 30 points for everybody on Team Warren. And Jessie Warren is into the second spot on the leaderboard.
I mean, that was huge that there were 2 outs when this ball was put in play because the runners didn't have to wait up to see if this ball was going to be caught, so they just got to run. Miscommunication out between Hayward and Ortez. This 100% should be an out, but remember, these teams are getting mixed up. They're playing with different teammates, and communication on defense so important, especially in a ball like that out in between left field and shortstop.
How about Team Warren leading this game 2-0 without a hit? That one ruled an error on Anissa Ortez. Kaylee Clifton trying to add to this. What an impact that could have on the leaderboard. So now Team Warren jumps out to a 2-0 lead. 30 points for everybody. Mentioned Jessie Warren jumping Aubrey Leach for the second spot. Clifton got a good hit on this one, and McClinney runs back and makes the catch. Well, there it is. 2 runs across. Team Warren, everybody gets 30. 2-0, big inning there for Team Warren as they get 30 points for everybody on their team. That leaderboard starting to change here on day one of series number 3. Our next WNBA games on ABC tomorrow. Elena Deladon and the Mystics back at Barclays Center taking on Brianna Stewart and the Liberty at 1 Eastern. Then the Sparks hosting Arike Ogunbowale and the Wings. Another star-studded doubleheader you do not want to miss. Megan Faremo, she's a star, not just because of what she's done today, but she has been tremendous today so far, holding this Team Garcia lineup to 0 so far, has her team in the driver's seat, and her captain, Jessie Warren, has to be really happy with what she's seen.
And all 3 of her strikeouts have been looking strikeouts too, setting up hitters well and moving the ball all around the strike zone.
See Courtney Gano there, who has replaced Jessie Warren in the field at third base. There's Courtney Gano. It's the only change as of right now. Team Warren, 2 games today in Rosemont. Maybe it's nice to get your doubleheader day out of the way. It's been tough for the doubleheader teams for the most part.
You know, it's a warmer day today, too. We haven't played a ton of day games. A lot of them have been at night under cooler conditions, especially that first series. But pretty warm day today. Going to be up near 90 and feels, 10 degrees warmer on the turf, too.
There's Anissa Ortez. They did change that Andrea Filler at bat to a double. I think we were a little bit surprised by, but Ortez no longer has that error on the scorecard, but still trying to help out her team here. I think it's a play she would expect herself to make. We've seen so many great plays from Anissa Ortez over the years. Defensive Player of the Year in 2021. Struck out looking her first time. Check swings, that one foul.
You think about how critical of a, I call it miscue or a mistake that was out in left field that led to 30 points for Team Warren because that ball wasn't caught. One pitch, one play can make all the difference in a season and in a game.
Tez back-to-back foul balls. Still just an 0-2 count. Big shout out today to our crew who are out in the elements, especially our folks operating the cameras. It is very hot out there today.
They're doing a great job. There they are.
Yeah, there they are. Hello. Ortez into the stands with a foul ball. Love the mad dash for the souvenirs too. '60th pitch upcoming for Megan Faremo. The 2 hits have come at the hands of a couple Huskies, Victoria Hayward and Sis Bates. Ball 1. Haley Wagner getting ready. Jessie Warren picked up Carrie Eberly, Megan Faremo, Haley Wagner, and Alicia Ocasio. Quite the pitching staff.
Each team having 4 pitchers, and it's always interesting to see the strategy. Who's going to start? Who's going to come in relief? Who's going to go deeper into a game? Who's going to have a shorter leash? All of that comes into play every game that we have.
It is a 1-2 count, and this is pitch number 8. Anissa Ortez has been swinging. Just a bit outside, 2-2.
That's one that you want, but a good eye by Ortez to take that. But I thought that was going to be another looking strikeout for Faremo, just off the plate.
Inside this time, Ortez hits it into the parking lot. Lisa Ortiz played a lot of professional softball in the NPF in Japan. Talked to her and Sam Fisher yesterday about the competitive nature of Athletes Unlimited as Ortiz puts this into left field for a base hit. And she said it's because of the way this league is operated in the leaderboard, it's a different type of competitiveness, but actually feels like there is more competition because of the nature of the inning wins and the game wins and the point system, that if you get down, 7-0 or something, the game's not over. There's still a lot to play for.
Yeah, well, you always hear coaches growing up saying it's all about the little things. The little things add up to the big things, and that's what the point system really rewards. The individual wins as well as the team wins and the every inning wins, that as a player you're wanting to win every single inning no matter what the score is.
See the top 10 on the leaderboard. Rachel Garcia still out in front. 120 points clear of Jessie Warren. If you're Jessie Warren or somebody in blue at the end of your doubleheader day, you would like to see all blue in the top 5-6 spots. And you know you did your job.
Well, and I think ultimately what the players think and what they talk about is just how important those team wins are.
Fisher into center field, back-to-back base hits.
You might have a good individual day at the plate, but ultimately those team wins are just going to matter most and be able to multiply your points. Sam Fisher in that outside curveball, she had been coming into this game 2 for 14 in her last 4 games. Just excited about getting that hit there and getting her first hit of this game.
That's what's interesting too about consistent performers with regards to the leaderboard, players who are finishing in the top 20 all the time, the top 15. Tori Vidalis, we talked about her earlier, 4 top 20 finishes. And Megan Wiggins, told us at the beginning of the season, you can play good individually, but you really won't find yourself in a good spot on the leaderboard unless you are winning. You have to be a good teammate and find ways to help your team win. I think a lot of those players you see with consistent success are those types of players willing to do just about anything.
Yeah, consistency definitely name of the game and all levels. Even these little league players that are here watching the game, same thing goes for them, that consistency aspect in all parts of the game.
It's back into the stands. Little leaguers in attendance today got to be on the field pregame. The handshake lines, you see some of them taking it in. Their Athletes Unlimited headbands on. Is that Dippin' Dots?
I think it might be.
Okay.
I know if I were down there, that's what it would be for me. So
I think it might be for me. Between games is what it might be. 2-2 count for Faremo. Back-to-back singles by Ortiz and Fisher to set up Delaney Wiz, who has been hot, hitting safely in all 4 games of Series 2. Lined out to right field her first time up. Team Garcia looking for the instant response after giving up 2 runs. Taylor Edwards earning some brownie points there with our home plate umpire, Jim Cooper, saving him from taking a little knock on the back there off the net. Another 2-2, swing and a miss. Big out number 1 for Faremo.
that has to feel good after giving up back-to-back hits to be able to get the strikeout of her old teammate Delaney Wiz on the curveball. This has been her strikeout pitch, being able to locate that pitch at the knees, maybe just above, but it's all about the location on the edge of the plate and not on the plate that leads that to a strikeout.
4th for Faremo, but the first swinging strikeout for her. Back to the corner for strike 1 on Rachel Garcia.
And back to another former teammate. A couple of UCLA Bruins that hit back-to-back in this order with Wiz and now Garcia. These players have seen each other a lot in their career.
Brooke Yanez, a member of Team Garcia this week, also a Bruin. How cool is this? Faremo and Garcia. national title at UCLA as teammates. Garcia was leading the way, paving the way for Megan Faremo to enter into superstardom herself as her career went on. The resumes here would be, you know, they always say resume should only be one page. These two,
It's hard to
I don't
fit
think
in.
it works that way. Pac-12 Pitcher of the Years, Rachel Garcia National Player of the Year. All the All-American nods. Just missed. Garcia walks against Faremo. Bases loaded with just one out for Megan Wiggins.
Yeah, the at-bats have been better in this inning for Team Garcia. In that last inning, pretty quick inning, and then back in the top of the second, a 3-up, 3-down inning. But these at-bats that they're having here in the top of the fourth, they're seeing more pitches, they're taking more pitches off the plate with her curveball, really making her work.
Danielle O'Toole out of the bullpen, or out of the dugout, I should say, to talk to Faremo and Taylor Edwards. Jessie Warren, we asked her about how she would use Danielle O'Toole this week, and she said she will basically do everything. So I'll have input on lineups and changes, but for the most part, Danielle O'Toole has the keys for Team Warren this week to lead the way.
She has such great knowledge of the game, especially, of course, within the circle and talking to Megan Faremo and also Taylor Edwards. But just situationally, she is a leader who studies the game and has excelled at the game here in AUX last season. Won it.
First ever AUX softball champion. The facilitators rotate weekly to different teams. Charlotte Morgan is leading Team Leach. Allison Rager leading Team Garcia this week. Swing and a miss from Wiggins as Faremo pumps that one by her for strike one. Outside, ball one.
Megan Wiggins has just had such a good eye at the plate. You talked about her on base percentage. It's because of the amount of walks that she's been able to draw this season.
Yeah, average below 300, but on base percentage way up there. Driven, right field, fair! Wiggins does it! Will it clear the bases? It will! Garcia scores! And they flip the script in the fourth. It's 3-2.
Get a chance to look at the pitch sequence and what Megan Faremo threw to Megan Wiggins. She tries to throw her outside to start this at bat a couple of times, and then she threw her inside, and Megan Wiggins was able to get her hands there. That's 69, 70 miles an hour on the inner half, and she just laced that down the right field line to clear the bases. Team Garcia answers right back after giving up a couple of runs in the bottom of the third.
Megan Wiggins jumping up a spot or two on the leaderboard to the 11th spot. And a good chance for her after that. If Team Garcia goes on in this one, maybe if they don't, to get some MVP points later. Painting that right field line. Now Faremo and Edwards talking some more, and this is going to be a change. Faremo was rolling through 3 innings, but back-to-back singles by Ortez and Fisher. Then Wiz struck out. A walk to Garcia to load the bases. And Megan Wiggins delivers, so a much different look now. Haley Wagner, the veteran out of Michigan, enters. We will step away. Top of the fourth, 3-2 Team Garcia. Enter Haley Wagner out of Orange, California. Played her college ball at Michigan, a 9th-year pro after not being drafted out of college, but still going her 4th season of Athletes Unlimited, and comes in with a 2-1 record. She's had some really impressive performances here. And enters with a runner on 3rd and 1 out.
That gives a different look, of course, coming from the left-hand side. Throws with good velocity. Megan Framo started this game, now inside the dugout, but Haley Wagner has had some really good moments in this AUX season.
Almost had the first complete game. We had 2 in Series 2. Peyton St. George and Rachel Garcia back-to-back complete games on the final day of Series 2. But Wagner almost did it in Series 1, went 6 2/3, and then got into some trouble. Things kind of fell apart, couldn't get that final out.
Asked her what her AUX goal was this season, and she said to be in the moment, stay loose, and to remember why I love this game and who I'm playing for, the next generation of young female athletes. And so what a day for her to enter, as it's Little League Day with all these young players in the stands that get to do just that.
Still playing with one of her former college teammates, Abby Ramirez, who's another longtime pro. She's with Team Leach this week. We'll see them in Game 2 today. Three and 1 to the first batter she faces, Sachel Palacios.
Of course, she comes in now on a string of several left-handed hitters. Started with Megan Wiggins, but of course she didn't face her after that bases clearing triple. But Palacios, Sispates, McClenny, and Hayward, all left-handed hitters, a lefty-on-lefty matchup.
3-2, another foul ball. Sachel from San Diego, California, got to play in front of her family at AUX last season. San Diego State University hit a grand slam, the first in AUX history. Another 3-2, fouled straight back.
Just had some good at-bats. It all started with Urtez, too, setting the tone. Remember that long at-bat that she had to lead off this inning and ended up finding a way to get a single, and it's just that one at-bat spread to the rest of the dugout. I mean, back in the top of the third, it ended with back-to-back looking strikeouts for Framo, and then Urtez comes up to lead off this inning and totally changes things.
Wagner on the inside corner for out number 2.
Little backdoor curveball. Haley Wagner battled back in this at-bat. Palacios just fouled off some pitches, and then Wagner makes a pitch at the knees, inside corner. They needed this strikeout for that important second out of the inning.
Wiggins standing on third after the bases clearing triple. Trouble here from Sispates. She drops it in. Bloop single to bring Wiggins in for a 4-run fourth.
I mean, the definition of a seeing eye single is that right there off of her bat. That wasn't in the air long enough for Jackson or Clifton to be able to get underneath it, and it just falls in between everybody out there. And another run for Team Garcia, their 4th run scored of this inning.
Fooled Haley McClenny, which is tough to do with that first pitch.
That was nasty. I can see her smiling about it too.
0-1, swing and a miss. Completely different look there on the second pitch. Haley McClenny, talk about consistency. All 4 seasons of Athletes Unlimited, top 12 finishes. This is the outlier right now. She sits in 19th. Ground ball left side. Over to second to get the lead runner Bates. But it was Megan Wiggins.
And she comes up with the bases loaded and has quick hands to this inside pitch to just ball just stayed down the right field line. A triple, a bases clearing triple for the vet.
This AUX, I'm going into this as my final season of softball, so I'll be retiring.
She's done it! A walk-off grand slam!
It's been special from the beginning, and I wouldn't want to end my career anywhere else. Seeing Greggy in the stands, it's just such a reminder of what's important. It's a really, really special thing, and I'm proud that I was able to do this with him in the stands.
College career that started in 2012 at Washington, a professional career that began in Italy in 2017 before coming to the States and signing with the Chicago Bandits, who called this ballpark home in 2018. She was tremendous right out of the gates in the NPF, and then go back to her Washington days the whole time, but as a junior with the 18 home runs, 59 RBIs, grand slam to finish AUX last season, and this is it. What's going through her mind, knowing that the end is near?
She's trying to soak it all in, and I think important and worth noting and knowing about her is that she's also playing in honor of her dad. That's a really big part of this being her last season, and she talked about one of her favorite moments being that grand slam, walk-off grand slam to finish AUX, and how fun that was, but most importantly how she got to hug her dad afterwards with tears in his eyes as he got to see that incredible moment for her as a player.
Her mom, sister, and of course her son Greggy have been here watching her in Rosemont.
Reason too that she picked her walk-up songs is because they remind her of her dad, Sky Full of Stars, because that's what he is, and also Brown Eyed Girl because he used to sing that to her. So really memorable. Just Courtney Gano is just a quality person, such high character, a leader. Everybody loves talking with her, and I've loved watching her play.
And when we asked Jessie Warren about her team and what her plan was going in, one of the things she said is she knew she wanted Courtney Gano because it's her last week, and she wanted to make sure she had a special week of softball to finish her career. 3-2. Great at bat right here. She fouls that one away.
And Jessie Warren said that she picked her team too, just wanted a team full of good vibes. And really with just the women who are playing in this league, there's a lot of good vibes on every single team. I mean, it's hard really to find a bad vibe, but that's really what Jessie Warren wanted to just work around, is just good vibes on her team, including, of course, having Courtney Gano.
3-2, Gano, great at bat, base hit. She still got it.
Love that for her.
Center fielder, number 6.
Hey, everybody loves to rep Athletes Unlimited, and you can too. Be sure to check out all the great gear including the tie-dyed Love is Unlimited Pride t-shirt. Go to shop.auprosports.com to get yours today. Gano on first. Nobody out. We had the 2 runs in the third, which were very meaningful because they were worth 30-inning win points that had rolled over, but Team Garcia answers right away in the fourth with a big 4-run inning, so they lead the game, and they're in line for 10-inning win points here in the fourth inning. Shannon Rhodes flew out to right field, her first trip to the plate. 1-0 from Garcia. Ground ball, Fisher going to second. Not going to be able to go to first for Rhodes, but they do get the lead runner for out number 1.
Right fielder, number 8, Alicia Ocasio.
Sam Fisher playing a little bit in front of the bag, knowing that it's more of a bunt type situation. So anticipating that, ball gets on her in a hurry for that backhand play and is able to get the lead out at second base to keep that runner out of scoring position.
Down to Alicia Ocasio, swing and a miss at that pitch from Garcia. Popped out to second base. Her first time to the plate. Alicia Ocasio, one of 2 champions playing at AUX this season. She won it all the championship season back in 2021. She'll be with Puerto Rican national team this summer in Valencia, Spain for the WBSC World Cup qualifier there, where she is one of the focal points on that team as a pitcher and a hitter. She'll be extra motivated as that begins with Puerto Rico and to come back for the championship season. I thought her conversations with her early, she was ready to go, she was confident. She's had some really bright moments in the circle, but I don't think it's worked out exactly how she had hoped it would.
She was really on a high coming into this season with the preparation that she put in. And
spins to Fisher, go to get the lead runner again at second base, and now 2 outs.
I don't think it's been quite the season that she wanted at the plate. It's been really fast too. Those at-bats start to just pile up on you quickly, but sure she'll learn a lot from this AUX season with still a few more games left to play and be able to take that into her Team Puerto Rico as well as into the championship season.
Alicia Ocasio, such a great competitor, so much fun to talk to about all things softball and broadcasting. She was an analyst with ESPN this season. It's Jasmine Jackson in the top of the order back to the plate. Jazz 0 for 2. She reached on an error back in the first inning and stole a base. That's upstairs. Palacios keeping an eye on Ocasio. Slaps that one foul. Just 8 hits in the game, but 6 runs. For the longest time, Rachel Garcia, and we thought even after those 2 runs had come across that she had not given up a hit. They switched that Andrea Filler knock, I guess you could say, whatever it was, to a double now. Runner goes, delayed by Palacios. I don't know if she saw Ocasio at first. That's a stolen base for Alicia and 10 points.
Second stolen base of the game for Team Warren. Ocasio, a good athlete, can do a lot on defense in the circle, at the plate, on the base pass.
Two. Jackson just tipped that ball.
I know that Team Garcia is kicking themselves too, and especially Rachel Garcia, because of the 2 runs that Team Warren has on the board. One got on with a hit by pitch, the other with a walk. Those free passes at every level always come back to bite you.
Outside corner. Garcia gets the call, and that's 10 inning win points for everybody on Team Garcia. On to the 5th inning we go. 4-2, they lead it.
It seemed like the ball just continued to find Jessie Warren, especially in Series 2, and she just stepped up and made play after play after play to her backhand, bunts in the hole, making throws from all different angles, by the way. I got a chance to talk to her about that coming into this game today, and now we get a chance to talk to her. She is mic'd up over at the hot corner. Jessie, what was it like just last week whenever you had all those spectacular plays and the ball just continued to find you? What was it like for you?
Yeah, super fun. I love playing the corner. I'm super confident over here, so when Rachel was hitting her spots, just being able to make all those plays, it's always fun.
3 up, 3 down. 1, 2, 3.
3 up, 3 down.
We're not only with Jessie Warren at third base, we are actually in the Team Warren huddle right there. You guys had to just kind of keep it clean there, I'm sure, just knowing that you're mic'd up.
Always.
Tell us about Megan Faremo. You got the chance. We heard you mic'd up earlier telling her you were so excited to play behind her. What is it about her that you were looking forward to?
She's just so dominant on the mound. I've always wanted to experience playing behind her. Obviously, I got to watch her play in college a lot, so just being able to actually be here at the corner with her on the mound is really cool because, like I said, she's such a dominant pitcher and just love her emotion in the game.
Jessie, with a hitter up like Victoria Hayward or somebody like Haley McClinney, how do you position yourself? What do you look for? How do you know where you want to go and start?
Yeah, usually with batters like this, I'd rather get beat behind than not in front. So I'll either be even with the bag or a little bit in front like I am now, just because I know Vic will lay one down and she's quick. Halo is more hitter, so I'll play a little bit back with her and she hits it hard. So, but people like Aubrey Leach, Victoria Hayward, Jasmine Jackson, those are the ones I've got to be careful with and really be able to read their hands and feet when they're up at the plate.
Jessie, this is your 5th time as a captain. How would you describe, everybody seems different. It's a discussion we love to have up here, how we would run a team.
Yeah.
How would you describe yourself as a captain?
Yeah, it's fun, but it's a little bit stressful. Hey, make a play out of baby Mag! I'm on the more stressful side of things just because I don't want to make a bad decision, but hey, that's a great pitch. But it's fun. I love good vibes. I'm really a person that goes for power hitters because I'm a power hitter myself and I love the long ball. So we have a bunch of those in the lineup this go around. So I'm super excited to see what we can do collectively as a team.
Jessie, one more technical question for you about defense. When we were watching that package view, you didn't get to see it, but we talked about this yesterday, all the different angles that you're able to throw from, all the different slots that you're able to throw from. How did that come to be? How did you become a defender that's able to do that?
Yeah, so I played on a team who's... Hey, nice! Out of base, Shannon! I played on a team, my coach's son played baseball at FSU, Sherman Johnson Jr., and hey, nice pitch. He would stay after practice with me and really work a lot of fundamental stuff, and arm slots was one. I think right now, a lot of the times, kids don't really recognize or understand their body enough to practice those slots, but I think they're super important because there's not one way to throw, especially when you're throwing on the run, throwing from a backhand, forehand, not always being able to set your feet and have like a over-the-top throw. So I think just really practicing different slots is super important, especially as an infielder, playing middles or a corner in general.
You do it as good or better than anybody we've seen. Jessie, thank you so much. We're just going to listen in now the rest of this inning.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, Meg. Yeah, CC. Hi, baby.
The rest of this very, very quick inning. Jessie Warren mic'd up is magic. A 1-2-3, 9-pitch inning for Megan Faremo.
Good shake on 3. 1, 2, 3. Shake and bake. Yes. Here we go. Let's set her up. Let's go hard in, and then we'll go. Yeah.
Take a walk. No, take a walk. I'm slowing it down. That's why I want you to take a walk.
Once a game, you know it.
I'm
I
always
worked on
going
my
to
dome this off
No,
season.
I'm taking advantage of that.
4-2, Team Garcia over Team Warren. That's Rachel Garcia mic'd up. I'm all about the catcher-pitcher conversation there. Let's set her up, her and Sachel Palacios, but just the access we get, second to none.
Yeah, so much about the pitch calling, just the communication, both in the dugout and out on the field, and even calling a timeout just to slow things down a little bit. The pacing and the rhythm of the game is just dictated by the pace of the pitcher in the circle.
Good spot to start off. Jessie Warren with strike one on the inside corner. 8 of Jessie's 10 hits have come with 2 outs this season. But leading off here in the bottom of the 5th, 10 more inning win points on the line and a swing and miss.
She's gotten her on that drop ball now 3 times to get her to swing and miss that pitch, not picking that pitch up out of the hands. Interested to see if she goes right back to it, back-to-back pitches.
Top 2 battle on the leaderboard, and Garcia gets Warren on 3 pitches. Looking at that one for her 4th strikeout today. Now, game 1 of the best-of-3 College World Series Finals. Tonight at 7 Eastern on ESPN and the app, it is LSU and Florida, a rematch from 2017 when the Gators won it all. Do not want to miss that one. One more game here today. Aubrey Leach will lead her team against Team Warren in the second game of our doubleheader. 0-1, Vidalis takes the strike.
It's a beautiful day for softball. I just am glowing. I'm sure these players are so happy that the wind isn't blowing them over on the field, and just beautiful sunny day. Love it.
Great competitive start to Series 3 as well, as Garcia misses outside with that one.
Can't believe it. Talk to us about wanting to get that outside corner called a little bit more with her curveball. That was actually a drop ball, but had a little bit of run to it as well.
Caught by Ortez, it's short. 2 outs.
The catcher, number 12, Taylor Edwards.
Garcia looking for another 1-2-3 inning. Did it back in the second as well. There's the top 10. You see Rachel Garcia, another 4 points for that out recorded. She leads the way by 158 points ahead of Jessie Warren. So this game is huge for the top of the leaderboard right now.
Yeah, that win gets you some big time points added, and then of course the MVP voting, which if Garcia continues to pitch the way that she is pitching right now, almost assuredly be one of those MVPs.
The outs left that she could record on top of a potential at bat that she could have still. The inning points that are still on the line, which amount to 30 at this moment. And then the game, which is worth 50. I mean, there's a lot of points left that Rachel Garcia could collect today to distance herself from second place on the leaderboard.
Well, and when you're a pitcher who hits like she is, then you're really putting yourself at an advantage because you can gain points on both sides of the ball. Another outside pitch that she just doesn't get called for a strike, and it may be a centimeter or two outside, but she continues to try to hit that outside corner and just needs to bring it in maybe a fraction, just a little.
2-2 to Edwards, further outside, 3-2. Rachel Garcia had 374 stat points entering today. That was already an AUX record. 3-2, popped up, angling toward the stands, and it goes up against the netting. Palacios talking to Delaney Wiz about what happened right there. Another 3-2 to Edwards. Outside, ball 4. Taylor Edwards gets 8 points for the second time. She walks again.
Number 9, Andrea Filler.
Great at bat right there. Now the tying run comes to the plate. Andrea Filler has had a great season so far. 5th on the leaderboard. 22 points behind Mia Davidson in the 4th spot. Nicole Mendez will run at first. A few Oklahoma products here in Rosemont. Filler's last at bat changed to a 2 RBI double. Walked her first trip to the plate. Watches strike 1 from Garcia. Pitch number 105 coming for Rachel Garcia.
It's fun to watch her work that outside corner to right-handed hitters, just the different movements and the different speeds that she's working on that side of the plate. Go away, and then hard in with her backdoor curveball. Or with the rise ball like that.
Talk to us about the pressure of being the captains. It is a little stressful. Trying to lead your team. All the players, with regards to the leaderboard, the captain, I mean, you put together the team, and a lot of players do get input from other players or the facilitator, or in Rachel's case, she said when she was up till 4 a.m., she was talking to her boyfriend a lot about it, and they determined that she needed to get a pitcher early, and so she went with Peyton St. George.
And she's such a great softball player, and we know her as that. But she said, if she wasn't a softball player, what would she be doing? And she said working with special needs, preferably within the deaf community. She's somewhat fluent in American Sign Language. So, fun fact about Rachel Garcia and several of these athletes actually this AUX season, no ASL.
It is a laser into the concourse. Matter of fact, Nicole Mendez, who is the pinch runner on first base, is fluent in sign language. Her older sister Brittany is deaf. Misses to Filler. Some great at-bats here. Edwards and Filler back to back with 2 outs. There's Odyssey Alexander, superstar out of James Madison, getting ready, dancing a little bit out there as well.
Garcia already thrown 110 pitches, not even through 5 innings.
Saw Odyssey working a little bit earlier as well.
She's just a pitcher who's not going to give in over the middle of the plate. So she knows that the importance of working on the edges, working a little bit off the plate, trying to get people to get themselves out. And that's what Team Warren has done a good job of whenever they've drawn walks, taking those pitches that are a bit off the plate.
Upstairs, Kaylee Clifton, a Sooner at the plate, a Sooner on second. She's 0 for 2 today. Hit hard, Sis Bates! You just can't get it past her! Showing off the hops to end the inning.
It's all about the read and the timing of that jump. You saw her get the read and then time it up. Watch her right here. Then go for the stretch. She kept her feet moving and stretched at the best possible moment to rob another hit this season.
Last year's AUX defensive MVP, and she just never sleeps when there's a glove on her hand.
Well, and this is just having your pitchers back. Both of those runners that you see on base were there because they walked 2 two-out walks, and then Sis Bates makes this play, a line drive hit anywhere near her. You know that she's going to try to make that play. Good celebration there with Sam Fisher. Remember, Sis Bates, it's not very tall. I mean, she had to time that up just perfectly to be able to make that third out.
Said she never sleeps with a glove on her hand. She might actually sleep with a glove on her hand.
Yeah, her glove is just like an extension of her body, I think, at this point.
Faremo came back in at the beginning of last inning and went 1-2-3 after Wagner replaced her with those lefties in the order. She was in a little bit of trouble, but re-entered. She will actually face a leadoff lefty here in the 6th. Kelsey Stewart-Hunter pinch hitting. That one misses outside, ball 1. 20 inning win points on the line. Those 5th inning points rolled over to the 6th. And 2 innings to play here in game 1 of Series 3, the final series of the 2nd season of Athletes Unlimited AUX Softball.
You know, the one thing I feel like we're missing from this game is a ball hit to Jessie Warren.
Yeah, that is true.
A little bit of everything. We haven't had... We got to see Sis Bates make a play. Now I feel like the only thing we're missing is Jessie Warren.
Eric and Madison and Matt, they stole all the Jessie Warren plays in Series 2. There she is over at third base, just waiting for her chance. 1-2 from Faremo.
Oh, that was close.
They tried. Foot closer, and she dives and catches that.
Just over there saying, feed me.
Absolute highlight reel in Series 2. Another 1-2. Gets the outside corner. Stewart-Hunter goes down looking. Don't forget, tomorrow morning on ESPN and ESPN Deportes, the London Series is back. Cubs-Cardinals, the 2nd game of their 2-game set at London Stadium. Starts at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, and then our Sunday night matchup is the series finale between the Astros and Dodgers. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern with baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown. Garcia's swinging first pitch.
It's always a big series when the Dodgers and Astros play each other. They actually didn't play each other last year.
Which is, there's always a great chance they'll play each other at the end, too, with those two teams. It's
always
fantastic, as they have been over the years, especially recently. Astros, the defending World Series champs. Misses to Rachel Garcia, trying to help her own cause here. Fouled back off the mask of Taylor Edwards.
The ball comes just flying off of her bat. Rachel Garcia, and of course, we talked about her being a strong athlete in terms of pitch velocity, but also in terms of exit velocity off of her bat. She's had the hardest hit ball of the season so far.
She's got a few of them on that top 10 list. This one, she didn't get all of it, but a pretty good spot. Diving attempt by Jackson. Almost had that, but it's down for a 1-out single. Here is Megan Wiggins, who contributed to Aspiration planting some trees.
Trying to go up and in on her hands, and Megan Wiggins says, I'm not having it. Bases loaded. You find a gap like that down the line and it goes into the corner, you're going to get multiple RBI, clear the bases, and help win the inning for your team.
Aspiration committed to planting 10 trees for every run scored this AUX season, so we'll see how many we get by the end of this series. Odyssey Alexander, we've seen her multiple times in the bullpen getting ready, but she makes her entrance as a pinch runner. Megan Wiggins with a single would move into 9th place. Her highest ever finish was 19th at AUX. She hit 372. Behind in the count, 2 quick strikes from Faremo.
Yeah, You saw that triple that she hit that was on the inside corner, and now what are they trying to do? Go away, away, away. Learning from their mistakes from that triple that she hit. Such a pivotal moment in this game whenever Team Garcia was able to answer back.
Could be the difference. Right now it is the difference in this game. Ground ball back to Farimo, going to second, into the dirt and into center field. Alexander moving up to third base. That one almost rolled far enough away from Warren, but Wiggins stays at first.
And Megan Farimo is a very good fielding pitcher. I've seen her make a ton of different plays for herself. Just, I don't know, maybe confused with who's going to cover second in that situation, as both Clifton and Filler were both headed towards second base, but holds on to that. Good base running by Alexander to see that ball down and head to third.
That's a good point. Filler was kind of there. Clifton was coming over. Maybe just a little bit twisted there. Now first and third with one out for Farimo against Sachel Palacios. Fouled straight back for strike one. Looking for some insurance here in the sixth. That one just misses for ball one. Bottom of the order here for Team Garcia. Palacios the 8-hole, Sis Bates in the 9-hole has 2 singles. Can't quite get that outside corner. Here's Sis Bates. 2 singles and an RBI to her name at the plate. 2-1. This is fouled up and out of play. Well, we've got Delaney Wiz in the chair for a little chair chat. Delaney in her first season of Athletes Unlimited Softball. Series 3, you've almost completed your first go-round. What is your takeaways so far?
Oh, it is so much fun. This team that I'm on for this week, we're just full of a lot of veterans, so I'm just really excited to play with them this week and finish off AUX season with these people. So I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, Delaney, you said coming into it that you want to make a lot of new connections with players and the staff here. What are maybe some memorable moments or things that you've learned up to this point in the season?
Yeah, so coming in, my position here is a catcher, so I get to connect with a lot of different pitchers, and a lot of them are veterans. So just being able to connect and learn about different pitchers and, yeah, just pick their brain. It's been a really cool experience, and I'm super excited to come back for champ season and just keep learning.
And then on the other side of the plate, when you're in the box, you've gotten to hit off of a couple of your former teammates. What's that been like for you?
Yeah, it's honestly weird because I've caught both Rachel and Megan, so having to hit against them is definitely a different experience for me. But I think playing with them has just given me, oh yes, go, so good, Sash.
2 runs gonna score, double for Sachel
Yes,
Palacios.
Sash. Atta girl.
Second baseman, 22.
So what's, you talked a little bit about hitting off of them, but
Yeah.
let's go back to that. What's that been like?
Yeah, like I said, catching them, I see how their balls move. I know them inside and out, basically. So I think that's helped me and set me up for success. Obviously, it's not going to work out in my favor every time because that's just how the game is. But yeah, it's been a really cool experience just to even be on the same field as them in the pro level. It's truly a dream come true, and I'm just really excited for them to be here.
Tell us real quick before we let you go, what is draft day like as a player, as you're just kind of waiting to figure out what team you're on? What's that like?
The first one was really nerve-wracking, but I think it's nerve-wracking for everybody's first draft. But I think as you go on, you see how things work, and you honestly, I get excited for draft day because I'm just like, what team am I going to be on this week, and who am I going to play with? So I really enjoy draft days, but it is a little nerve-wracking at first, for sure. Can't lie.
Delaney, thank you so much. We've really enjoyed watching you, so we're happy you're here.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Delaney.
Delaney Wiz, she really got it going in Series 2. We started a home run in Series 1, then Series 2 had a hit in every game.
If I'm not mistaken, I think she's hit home runs off of both her former teammates, Garcia and Faremo.
So it was just politically correct for her to say, I'm not going to win it every time, but doing pretty good. Sis Bates goes down swinging for out number 2. Now Haley McClenny in the top of the order, but Megan Faremo, after re-entering, has been really solid. Struck out Kelsey Stewart-Hunter to lead off this inning, then 3 straight base runners. Really the biggest mistake this inning, that double. Other than that, Wiggins reached on an error. Had that play been made by Faremo, she'd be out of this already. Nadia Taylor's going to come in to pinch run for Sachel Palacios.
Several 2-strike hits in this game for Team Garcia off of Megan Faremo.
There's Nadia Taylor. Captain last week. Faremo, Yanez. A couple great additions to the pitching staffs for Athletes Unlimited's roster.
See if Haley McClenny can put together a better at-bat, this at-bat. Know that she's just wanting to get in on the action, barrel something up. Has a chance now with the runner in scoring position, and I just have a feeling she's going to learn from her first 3 at-bats for this one.
Series 1, Faremo struck her out back-to-back at-bats, and we kind of joked about that had that happened to Haley McClenny. And then today, 0 for 3. One of those was not against Faremo. She actually reached on a fielder's, or grounded into a fielder's choice against Haley Wagner, but against Faremo, a ground out to short and a strikeout looking.
You can see her just soaking in the information, thinking about probably her last at-bats. Was to take her time in between pitches.
2-1, fouled straight back.
That's a big hack. Came in on a 6-game hit streak too, and over that span hitting over 400, has scored several runs. So you just know when a hitter like Haley McClenny is 0 for 3 and really hasn't squared something up, it's just a matter of time.
Probably her last chance, barring a big turn of events on the other side of the plate.
Such a close pitch to take, too, that last one. You can see her holding on to her take, hoping that that ball continued to ride off the plate.
Slaps this one foul territory, long run. Jackson slides over. She has been all over the place.
She has, and was hit off the end of the bat. Megan Faremo going to a full count changeup, trying to keep Haley McClenny off balance, and Haley McClenny just getting enough of it to extend her at bat.
Talked to Haley before this season started. She said, if I can get a pitcher to throw every pitch they have in it at bat, I feel like I've won. That one got home plate umpire Jim Cooper. Hopefully he's all right. It is a really hot day, and says he's okay. Ooh.
We had a chance to talk to Jim a couple of weeks ago, and he says he can't even count the number of times that something like that has happened to him. Just part of why we love and appreciate umpires so much is the beating that they can take back there and still love our game and on a hot day, as you mentioned.
Checking on him real quick. Well, the AU Softball Championship season back here in Rosemont, July 28th through August 27th. It's 5 weeks. Season tickets, 3-game mini plans, group tickets, and more are now available. Go to auprosports.com/tickets to get yours today. Only a couple games will not be played here. They'll be played at the Little League Softball World Series instead.
This at bat, Chucky, I'm telling you, Haley McClenny was not going to go down easy in this at bat at all.
This right here is vintage McClenny. 9th pitch coming, which is usually about the minimum for her, it seems like. And she wins the battle and walks.
Just a classic Halo at bat right there. And I know that she's happy to see all those pitches, foul some off, and then end up finding a way just to get on base with the walk. Better at bat. Looks like we're actually going to see another pitching change with Haley Wagner coming back into the game.
While we make that change, let's go down to Savannah Collins with more on Haley McClenny.
Thanks, Chucky. I know we talk so much about Haley McClenny's strategy. She's such a cerebral hitter. And one thing that I've talked about in the past with her is she is able to take a really positive approach in the failures that come with softball. She looks at every at-bat as a learning experience. And for her, she's thinking that third, fourth time through the lineup, because of the adjustments that she's able to make, because of her ability to get on base, her mentality is, you will not beat me that third, fourth time around. And even though she drew the walk, those are the type of things she's looking for, is I will not get beat late in the game no matter what. And that's kind of that approach she takes as we get later into these games. You're needing those clutch moments.
That's exactly what we just saw there, the I won't get beat mentality. And really, they're up 4 runs, but we've seen some big innings late in games from teams. So she's trying to give Victoria Hayward a chance here with 2 outs, 2 runners on now.
Would love to be in on this conversation here between Haley McClenny and Megan Wiggins, talking about hitting, both left-handed hitters. Just so good. I mean, constant conversations like that going on this season amongst the best of the best, just making each other better, always talking the game, always talking small, tiny details of the game.
Hayward swinging first pitch. I think it's interesting how many of these players who have been playing for so long at the professional level, the international level, talk about still finding things out about their swings and ways they can train that work best for them. Victoria Hayward was telling me that the other day. She says, I still am learning new things long into her professional career about what works best for her in training, or things about her swing that she never realized. But just constant students of the game.
Yep. And they're just developing other players that a lot of these athletes are coaching collegiately or in clinics or whatever it may be. They're able to develop with the game. This game is just changing so much, and you've seen it as a fan, even when you were younger, how much being around the game so much, how much it's developed over the past 10 years.
Another foul ball from Hayward. Actually, I asked Danielle Gibson, was one of the younger players in the league in her 2nd season. I think it's starting to get to the point where the players coming into this league more, they have softball to watch when they were kids, more than maybe the generation before them. I asked Danielle Gibson, what was it like? Was there somebody you looked up to or watched? And one of the names that popped up, Megan Wiggins, Haley McClenny. She even said that as a rookie, and we'll see Danielle Gibson in game 2 today, as a rookie, it was, she was almost a little starstruck at times, and it took her coming in this year, and she said, okay, wait, I belong here. I'm right there with them, and I can compete. As Wagner gets out of a little jam here in the 6th, but 2 runs across for Team Garcia, and they could potentially pick up 20-inning win points. Well, Peyton St. George, another former Little Leaguer growing up. Love all these pictures that we get to see at his Little League Day here at Athletes Unlimited AUX Softball. We have a number of former Little League players. And PSG is out there replacing Rachel Garcia, and this is maybe the best pitching duo of any of the rosters. This was the first pick for Rachel Garcia in the Series 3 draft.
Yeah, she's been looking really strong in the circle and been getting better as she's gone on. I love the way that she's been mixing speeds too. I think that's been the separator for her ability to change speeds in a lot of different ways, leaning on her off-speed rise ball and her off-speed curve ball, as well as her changeup. That's it right there. She can also bring it up to the upper 60s, but when she's been changing speeds, like the way that you're seeing right here, she's been able to give these hitters fits and keep them off balance. Sometimes even I asked her, you know, what's the percentage when she had a relief outing the other day that she's been changing speed? She said 75 to 80%. Keeping it below 60 miles an hour, so a different look for her as the season has gone on.
She had the first complete game of the AUX season last week. Rachel Garcia did it right after her on the same night, but Peyton St. George just gave up 2 earned runs in that complete game performance. Struck out 6. She will face Courtney Gano, 7-8-9 here for Team Warren, who trails by 4 in game 1 of 2 for them today. Gano 1 for 2 in her final week as a pro. St. George falling behind 3-0 to the first batter she faces. Just 2 hits for Team Warren total in this game so far. There is strike 1 to Gano.
There it is again. So back-to-back off-speed pitches to get back into the count. Just, I think it's so cool to watch a pitcher develop as the season has gone on, to truly have a completely different look. We're not talking like hard rise ball, now you're going a little bit more to your curveball. We're talking like going to your off-speed pitches and giving hitters a complete 180 different look.
Gano, left field, and see you later! Courtney Gano not going out quietly.
Why Peyton St. George has been going to those off-speed pitches so much is because with her harder pitches like this, hitters have been squaring her up more, up and in on the hands, and Courtney Gano is on time, not fooled at all by the speed, trying to sneak it up and in against her. She hit that so far, a no-doubter off the bat of Courtney Gano, and her last season surely giving little Greggy in the stands a big wave.
Big swing right there to cut this lead to 3. There's also the 20-inning win points on the line, and now just 1 run away from matching Team Garcia's 2 spot in the top of this inning. Shannon Rhodes has plenty of power as well, but swings through that one.
Love to see a free swing like that from Courtney Gano, just getting her best swing off. You could tell, just letting loose. I'd love to see it when these players, especially in their last season and some of their last games, are able just to let free like that.
Let's go down to Savannah with Courtney Gano.
Thanks, Chucky. Courtney, it's got to feel so good to be able to get that in here in your final weekend. Tell me about your approach and how you felt today. Spent a little bit of time at third and in the lineup with Team Warren.
Yeah, I've just honestly been feeling really peaceful, making small adjustments, but just not putting too much pressure on myself. And I'm really just enjoying it and having fun with it, and that helps a lot.
You know, Greggy, he's going to hit his 4th birthday in just a couple months.
Third.
Third
Yeah,
birthday.
don't age him. Come on.
How cool is it after a home run to be able to look up at him in the stands and wave?
It is so cool. I looked up at my family, and I know that my dad is here. And earlier today, we watched the Grand Slam of last AUX. So, and I got to see him in the stands, and so that one was for him.
Bring a little bit of that magic to this game.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Court. Thank you.
Thanks.
That's so cool. Courtney playing in honor of her dad, and then of course Greggy, who's been with her at all of her Athletes Unlimited seasons. Rhodes grounds out to Fisher. What a moment though for Courtney Gano, and maybe many more to come this week.
Yeah, still a few games left to be played for her, and kind of feel like this one's the last one because it's like the last game that, or the last first game of the series that she'll have. So lots of memories she's creating. And
there's Peyton St. George getting Ocasio quickly for out number 2. Don't forget, coming up very shortly right here on ESPN2, Team Leach will take the field. Aubrey Leach, their captain, taking on Team Warren in the second of their doubleheader games. There's Deja Mulipola and Aaliyah Andrews out there getting ready. So don't go anywhere. We will be back shortly on ESPN2 at the conclusion of this game. Top of the order here for Team Warren. Jasmine Jackson 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts. Oh, 0-1 pitch from St. George. Too far outside.
you mentioned it, Team Warren playing a doubleheader today, and doubleheaders have just not really been friendly to the team that has had to play them the past couple of series.
Do you have the recipe for us on that? Do you know what the deal is with that?
I wish I did.
Well, Peyton St. George almost fell down. Some laughs for her. Gave up the solo shot to Gano, but they do get 20-inning win points.
A free swing, getting her best swing off in her last season, some of her last games, a Courtney Gano solo shot, doing it for her dad and her son, Greggy.
Our next WNBA doubleheader on ABC coming up. 1 Eastern and 3 Eastern. Elena Deladon and the Mystics at Barclays Center. Brianna Stewart and the Liberty. That one's coming up at 1 Eastern. This is tomorrow. And then the Sparks hosting Arike Ogumbawale and the Wings. So don't miss that star-studded doubleheader. A little Jenga out there down the right field line.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's getting close, I think, for sure, right?
That makes me nervous just seeing it.
Well, Carrie Eberly is into the game. Oklahoma State product, played a few years at Virginia Tech as well. The 2021 Rookie of the Year to try and close things out here for Team Warren.
Carrie Epperly has had some innings too where she's looked really sharp. Of course, the offenses have been so strong.
First batter is Onisa Urtez, and she is out. Sis Bates in for a chair chat. We can talk so many things with Sis right now. The defense, obviously your team up 6-3 on the scoreboard. Let's start, though, the new gig. On Thursday, the Director of Player Development is your new role at Washington. How excited are you?
I'm so excited. I feel like I've been in multiple roles there, and it's just my dream when I was a little kiddo to make it to UW, and now I'm in a different role, and I'm just so grateful to be with the people I love.
You'll be great at anything that you do, of course. But we've seen you make some great plays on defense. Sis, what's your favorite part of playing defense?
Oh my gosh, my favorite part, honestly, the people around me. I feel like, man, when Samu makes a great play, like the joy I have for her is everything. And I feel that so much from my teammates as well, so that's my favorite part. So much fun here.
When Rachel took Onisa Urtez, plus McClenny, plus Hayward, the double shortstops, the double center fielders, what was going through your head on draft day?
Guys, I'm not kidding. I have wanted to play with Onisa forever, and we never get on the same team. And when she went, I was like, come on, Rachel, come on. And it happened, you guys. It happened, and then we got Samu, too. So great.
Sis, it's, Little League Day today with all these young players running around. What are some, maybe favorite memories of you being a little Sis Bates running around, getting started, and playing the game?
Oh, my gosh. I have so many beautiful memories from being a little kiddo. Going out to the field, I just remember so vividly when we weren't in season, I would always in the car, I'd be like, Mom, when the heck is softball season? Every single time, we would drive by, I'm like, Mom, come on. I know we just ended a week ago, but we got to play again. My favorite memories are on the ball field for sure.
Okay,
run fast,
before we let you go, unless this is a double play.
Oh,
not
no,
quite.
it's not.
Okay, we're good.
No.
Before we let you go, though, you'll be with Courtney Gano and Victoria Hayward as well. But we have to ask you about Courtney because this is it for her. She seems to have a flair for the dramatic. I know it was the wrong team that last inning on the solo home run. The Grand Slam last year. I mean, what is it? What is it about her?
You guys, when she hit that, I told Vic when we were going in, I was literally so much joy in my heart for her. Even if we lost the inning, I mean, I'm just so proud of who she is. And this last weekend, I just want her to play and have fun and be free, and it looks like she's doing that. So I love her so much, and I'm so, so proud of who she is.
Sis, thank you so much. Keep it up.
Thanks, guys.
Sis Bates, one of the best there is on the field and off the field, of course, and always a fan favorite here at Athletes Unlimited and wherever she is.
Yeah, and how you see her there is how she is all the time. That's not an act because she's on camera and talking to us. That's truly how she plays a game and how she lives her life is with that energy and joy.
She's just chilling right now, too. She's waving at people, taking her time, getting back to the dugout. Carrie Epperly trying to put together a clean inning here. She's talking to Odyssey Alexander out there in the bullpen.
Look, I mean, just noticing and talking to everybody, she just doesn't know a stranger ever. That's just her personality at all times.
Epperly down again. 3-0 count to Rachel Garcia. She is your leader right now, and that gap between first and second could get much larger if this game finishes this way. Ground ball left side. Clifton over to Filler for out number 3. Well, last chance coming up. 6-3, Team Warren. There's some magic left on the offensive side. 6-3 Team Garcia over Team Warren, and that baby and Cubs fan is excited to see how this one is going to finish up, trying to stay shaded in the stands today. About 90 degrees here in Rosemont, and still more to be done. Aubrey Leach and Amanda Lorenz, they're due up next. Team Leach taking on Team Warren about 20 minutes after the conclusion of this one, right here on ESPN2. Somehow they know the camera's on them.
They always know.
Peyton St. George trying to finish things up here. Gave up the solo home run to Courtney Gano in the bottom of the 6th, and has a very dangerous part of the order here. 2, 3, 4. Nothing but power coming to the plate to face Peyton St. George. This one off the end of the bat, though, and they will get Warren a big out number 1.
Pretty quiet day for Jessie Warren at the plate. A couple of strikeouts. Of course, that one hit by pitch whenever she reached, but it's always a good sign for Team Garcia when able to get her out.
Yeah, Jessie will be hungry in game 2 to get something going at the plate. Did we see her make a play? I don't think we did. Defensively, Tori Vidalis has a 1-out single.
And has a hit in every game now. Her saving it for her last at bat. Again, just the model of consistency is Tori Vidalis.
Yeah, one of just 2 players in the league with a hit in every at bat. Danielle Gibson, the other one. And a chance still. Taylor Edwards. 3 home runs on the season. 2 of them were 2-run home runs. St. George goes off speed and gets her out front.
I bet we continue to see her go to those off-speed pitches. You saw Edwards way out in front of that, and the same thing with Jessie Warren and that 6-3 putout. The pitches that have gotten hit have not been off-speed, or have not been off-speed pitches off of Peyton St. George. So continue to go to that pitch at about, what, 54, 55 miles an hour? Yeah. Ton of spin.
There it is again. She pops her up this time. Bates into center field, makes the catch. 2 outs. Right on cue, partner.
I know it. It's been working for her, and it's just giving these hitters absolute fits. They cannot barrel it up.
One on, 2 out. Andrea Filler, last chance for Team Warren, who with 1 run would at least pick up 10 inning win points. If not, they will surrender 90 of the possible 120 for the game. And Rachel Garcia's lead will grow big time.
And what is it with the visiting teams, or the visitors in the game, having so much success? They've won the majority of the games.
This is, we're going to have to do an off-season study.
I know.
On these doubleheader days and the visiting teams.
Break down the numbers.
About a month off for Athletes Unlimited softball fans before the championship season. These players, many of them will not get a month off. Andrea Filler will actually play for Team Italy, along with Erica Piancastelli, who we'll see in the championship season again. (3-1) to Filler. That's in there for strike 2.
Another off-speed pitch, this time a called strike. Probably going to go to an off-speed pitch again, full count, 2 outs. A lot of success with that today.
3-2 into center field, base hit, and they stay alive. Vidalis to second, Filler on first, and the tying run coming to the plate.
Number 20, Katie Clifton.
10 points for Andrea Filler, pulls her within 4 points of the 4th spot.
Such a good piece of hitting, just doing her homework, understanding, just like we were thinking, that off-speed pitch was coming, and able to find a way to get a hit off of it.
Kaylee Clifton, 0 for 3 today. with a huge chance. Watches strike one from St. George. She is living with the off speed.
Living on it.
Gets away from her for ball one.
And it's interesting as a pitcher, too, to just change the strategy and the way that you pitch to go to that off-speed pitch so many times. And then it is an adjustment. It's a change to go to your harder stuff. It's a different feel, a different rhythm.
Clifton into left field. Playable for Hayward and makes the grab. That will do it. Little point to Team Leach out there in the players' suite. A big day for Team Garcia as they knock off Team Warren 6-3. The first of a doubleheader. We are back in 20 minutes. For Savannah Collins, Amanda Scarborough, and our entire fantastic crew, I'm Chucky Kemp. We will see you shortly here on ESPN2, but up next, UFC Soundwaves with Conor McGregor.